cause more issues on stream than they're almost worth. Like, yes, I like the extra protection, but the fact that it causes as much issue streaming as it does is concerning. Hey, yo, we're back. So my VPN disconnected and reconnected, so that's why my stream got turned off. Fun fact, streaming with VPNs are not the best. But thanks for holding a funeral for me. Glad to know. Fun fact, Ben is a hoe. Were you about to do that too, right?
All you people in the house,
oh no, we have a bunch of new hays again.
Say hey, hey, hey.
I'm only cookies, so go find your own. I mean, the real question is, who was following longer? Bitches are temporary. My recraft career is forever. But welcome back. We're gonna continue. Ben's not following me? Imagine not following me. Rude. Is it just broken? Oh, if I could type. Right, it's not following me. Wait, it says Cookie Ninja. Follow age. Y'all aren't following me? A bunch of fake fans? Get out of here. Bunch of fake people in my chat. Just kidding. I love you. Even if you're watching without being followed, that you're still supporting in any way, shape, or form, and I appreciate anyone that's here. Hey, that's rude, right? That's rude. No getting rid of messages. Alright, collect what we can. Did I have a sermon already today? That disconnect really has me confused as to what I'm doing. Did I have a sermon? I did, okay. So our worshipping isn't the best right now, but there's only so much I can do about that. Wait. Oh, I thought that said Ben. I thought that said Ben was around and I got excited. Alright, let's see if we can defeat the last level of this one. What's up, dude? I will not suffer the same fate as Lishi. Find me at my temple. You'll join the kin in slaughter. We're gonna get you. I also saw some wood on that path. What do we got? Oh, we got hands going. They're gonna catch these little lammy hands. Smack everything. Come at me. The one you serve, the monster we have put in chains, will not be satisfied until he's killed all four of us. You may have killed my brother Lishi, but you will not kill me, and you will not get close to the other bishops of the old faith. You're far older and more powerful than my dear brother Lishi was. Then fight me! You're too afraid to fight me right now. Oh, I'm trying not to get hurt. but it's becoming a problem. Oh no, come on. No, Platinum's died. Wait, why do you guys like dying as soon as I'm in the dungeon? That's not right. Can you not die for 2 seconds? No dying allowed in the cult. Only sacrifice. Whoa. Okay, so we got another heart there, but I'm already down to 2 hearts. Imagine touching grass. I mean, grass is pretty cool, though. It didn't let me join the last follower offer, so my guy is still alive in the middle of nowhere. No! We want Ben back. Cause, like, it literally said you didn't die or anything. But, like, the other dude, like, aged out of his... Like, he literally aged out of his rebellionaire. Please don't spawn any more bees. Anything but more bees. I'm genuinely terrified of bees. Go this way. Heck yeah. What's we got? 10% chance of negating damage. I will take it. Because I am already pretty damaged. Come on, come on, come on. Please, 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 one more hit. Thank you. I'm trying not to take any more hits, but it's a little bit hard at the same time. What's up, dude? You little snake dude? Hello, child. You're a friend of Ratu? I recognize that crown on your head. Ratu has told me all about you. I'm on my way to visit him for a game of knucklebones. I have debts to pay. The Lonely Shack? Can I kill you? No, I can't kill you, but I can kill your shack. Some mushrooms there. Mushrooms at least give us food or something. Oh, and a half a heart. Heck yeah. Follower will never sleep. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. What path are we going? That path has wood. I guess we're going the path of wood because that's really about the only thing I could think of that I need right now. Oh, I forgot I needed to collect. I love that I can take devotion from, like, the other people. Like, homies, y'all don't like me. They're not praying to me. Riot's singing or doing something. I don't know what you're on about, Riot, but full send. Whoop. Whoa, I didn't want to get hit. God damn it, I need more health. I'm not gonna survive this. There's no way in hell I'm surviving any of this. There's too much going on around here. Ooh, so icy powers make people slow? I'll take icy powers. Please. Reminds me of that skeleton meme that plays Bad to the Bone. Oh, bad to the bone. Bad. Ooh, there's another heart. So now it's up or right. I want to say up. Okay, up was the good choice. Up was the great choice. Increased weapon damage. Deal poison damage. That's a slow fade. Overall weapon damage increase, though. I don't think poison does that much, like, actual damage around, though. Oh, y'all have a bunch of fucking bats going. The bats are just rude. That's all there is to them, is they are just rude. Give me more bones. It's almost daytime for my people, so I do need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit. Alright, that one ended quickly. I'm down for quick ends. Oh, is this the fight before the fight? Kind of like the fireballs. As they kind of shoot off into all kinds of directions. And now I got wood going, thank God. That was like 14. Wow, your mushroom house only gives me 1 wood. I feel like that needs to be more sturdy. Destroy your statue, because screw you. Yeah, see, I like that a lot more than what I was already running. Also, I need to not be dumb. I need to keep my little lamb alive. Get some more grass just in case I need to feed people grass when I get back. Oh, that's another heart. I'm down with more hearts. Think this way? Definitely was not that way. Okay, okay, okay. Yep, 1 more hit on each of those. No, those bats are literally the worst thing in this game so far. It's probably gonna get worse too, but as of right now... Oh, that's a lot of spiders. Okay, I thought that was gonna give me meat or something. Alright, we'll get... Oh, what are you? That's why, what are you guys? Hello, little golden riots. I don't know what we're doing, but please go away. I don't know if that room was worth it. But, I mean, I guess we will carry on. I've never seen those enemies before. Let me... I'll go right. I'm not necessarily trusting it. Shouldn't have trusted it. Oh, it was kind of a thing showing me what we were gonna have coming for the future. What can I get? Ooh, tentacles, though. I like the tentacles a lot better than anything else we've had. Tentacles are pretty cool, though. Just saying. Now we go back. I'm so ready for this fight now. After heart. Damages everything on screen when hit. Yes, please. Do damage when I get hit. No, that did nothing for us. Alright. So we're here. I'm not ready for it. Let's go! I'm not ready. No, we have 2 people dead. I don't even have graves made for them yet. Been ready for this. Make your peace, creature. You will not be living in this temple. Oh, they all just sacrificed themselves to him? Yeah, it's a bit intense. Hello, Hecate. Alright. Oh, you're a big oh, yikes. Oh, you got bees? Oh, fuck out you and all your bees. Okay. You're about half down. I can deal with about half down. Where did Hecate go? I don't like that. He's just dropping shit on me. Kill some shit before it gets to me. You're a bitch for hiding, Hecate. I hope he doesn't come back healed more. And gets these big ones that I probably gotta do. Okay, so I got one of them. Just gotta not get hit by shit. But that's proven to be a little more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. Heck, it's back, heck, it's back, heck, it's back. Why are there so many bees? Okay, 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 okay. No. Did I get down? Did he get down? Did I get him? Holy shit. Okay. We got him. I was not ready for that. Whew. All right, lots of money. Oh, and we got a froggy. Little frog. We got a little trophy for killing them. Heck yeah. Holy cow. That was absolutely intense. I thought I didn't make it for a second, but I was swinging. Well, that didn't help anything. Alright. Alright. What's up, dude? I enjoyed watching you destroy Heket. Her arrogance is always disdain for her undoing. Your merciless crusade against the old faith warms my cold, unbeating heart. So we're melting you. We're gonna turn you into a nice guy. And the shepherd shall make way in the wilderness rivers, desert to prevail. I'm assuming. Hey guys. Someone's mad at me? I straight up will sacrifice you. Okay, new divine inspiration, but let me get some bodies wrapped up. Because that's a lot. You will be educated or jailed. Go to jail. Oh, just carry him with my little hand. Yikes. Well, now you're in jail. Have fun with that. Don't mess with my peoples. Oh, I need to hold a sermon, like, now. Alrighty. Sermon. I don't think we have any other old people now, do we? Oh, we have one old person. We'll have to see what all we're sitting at. Ooh, a new upgrade? We will just go here. We got a lot of things to do, guys. We'll be here for a hot second. Alright, so we also have a heart upgrade. So we can focus on a crusade and instantly return to a base. Once a day, eat a meal and receive a heart. So I like the idea of going in with a new heart, because I'm bad at this. Alrighty. So then we have another crown ability ready to go. We're just doing a lot of things today. That's the last thing that we only have 2 of. Perform a ritual at your temple, which you can distribute money to all of your followers, increase their loyalty, or one that makes them donate. I mean, I'll keep the one that makes them donate. I'll probably be unhappy, but I don't need it. Yeah. Yeah, see, we're happy now. Now we can also resurrect someone. Because we've had people dead for a while. God, we have a lot of them dead. Who's been a member the shortest amount of time? Bubbly Nami was only around for 20 days. So we will bring Bubbly Nami back. Then we can also ascend someone. We have another old person who's old. Yeah, Liren's getting old. Shadow looks young still, but Liren is showing old age. So let's go ahead and ascend Liren. We'll get him back later. Alrighty. See, you're happy again. Bye, guys. Thanks for the monies. There's spiders around, but I think that was one of those dead bodies. That's one less person we have to worry about. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna drop the dead body right there. We will have to make... probably make another, like, 2 or 3 holes. Just to have them available. Also seems like we need to make a new wood thing soon. So we'll just do some building, get that ready to go. Oh, that's ready to go. Go ahead and grab that to have. Then we also... need... come on. Yes, that way. One of those going, and we'll do another one of these, because I feel like 1 or 2 of these is probably going to end up falling within a day or 2. We also just need more wood to go around. But that will be tomorrow's task for them. We also got to get food going. We got to re-educate people. Are there any spiders around? Spiders. Poop things are not full. Probably because they're... oh, because they're not eating. That makes sense. Alright. You're out on that quest still. Any other spooters around before daytime hits? Yes, there are. I definitely gotta get this a little more organized, too. It's definitely extreme chaos at the moment. Oh, someone's bed is down. Sorry for waking up. I did not mean to do that. But it's a good thing that we have too many people right now. Called the lamb. Yes, called it the lamb. Oh, dear Lord. So much management, not enough time. So the Missionary 2 is going to be really useful. Grand Shelter would be cool too. Yeah, I think the Missionary 2 would be cool because that's going to give us seeds and stuff. And it can send... oh, it can send 2 people. Now I don't know if that was the right move. Okay, so we got that guy, we got that guy. Respect your elders. Oh, Patty's old. Okay, Patty is not an actual, like, Twitch person, though. That's fine. Patty can be old. Cookie as in herself, or is in the snack? Wonder what Cookie's cult worships? We worship anime waifus. It's the only acceptable answer. Anime waifus. We'll inspire everyone. I'm getting inspired. Look at y'all being cute. Someone's glowing over here. Thank you for being loyal. I think more people are glowing over here, but I'm gonna focus on getting the plants done. So we got to get food going again. God, they're just like a little like ant farm going that way. Which anime waifus? All of the anime waifus. The answer is yes, there is not a wrong anime waifu. If we don't like anime, well then you're wrong. Glorious leader, some elders have been cast from their cult and seek a place to enjoy their final years. Maybe we should let them join ours. Sure, we'll accept someone, because then we'll have another raffle. So if you are on desktop, as soon as I am done gathering my farm, you will have a chance to join the cult. There will be a little thing that pops up soon. They'll be like, hey yo, would you like to join the raffle? And then you can, you know, join the raffle and be a part of the cult. Okay. You continue doing your thing. But I will do that after I gather my farm so these dudes can actually work on their things for the day. You will be old, but I will revive you after you die. Ooh, kitty cat's glowing. Kitty cat! There we go. Everyone's working hard or hardly working. There is no in between here. Oh, I suppose we should probably re-educate. Re-educate. There we go. We'll probably do that tomorrow and then you'll be set again. So we got platinum, buried. Anyone that's buried is an actual rich person right now. We have another old person. We got fertilizer there. We got seeds going. We don't have a lot of seeds though, so we will have to get all of that moving. We also have things that can make money. We got lots of things going. We got a shelter that's down. That's not fun. Oh, I need more wood for that. That's fine. We got wood things going. I kind of want to like move one corner to farming, one corner to like resource gathering. I think that'd be a great divide. Maybe like centralize the bathroom so I can keep an eye on them a little bit better. So they're not full. Our people also aren't eating yet. Let's go ahead and fix the bed. We will do our little person invite now. So if you're on desktop, we will have a raffle. You are able to join the cult doing that. More people pog? Yes. Because I'm struggling to get people back in. The reviving process is just expensive. Snack break. It's always a good time to snack break whenever you're bringing people into your cult too. Bum, 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 bum. I have 1 point now, damn. You have just been contributing, haven't you? Ben wants to cause all the chaos. I'm gonna finish off my Doritos and then we'll start the raffle. What chips are those? They're the sweet chili Doritos. Like my favorite. So guess what? What? Chicken butt? You're amazing and I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. You're a sweetheart. Alrighty. So there's that. Give it until 43 in case anyone does want to join, which will be 1 more minute. Actually, I can check up on my alerts while we're waiting that 1 more minute. Turkey lurks are still good. I wish it would let me. I wish it would let you too. Like, oh. Have you refreshed it all, Ben? Water and Doritos? Yes, water and Doritos are my snack of the moment. I'm sorry I left. I'm sorry I made you leave. I would have, as weird as it sounds, I would have killed you so I could have revived you if I knew you were just gonna leave. But then you were just gone. Alrighty. So I think we are gonna end up making our own. Lana is gonna be a little grass thing, maybe? Or a cow. We'll have a cow. We'll have just a little black cow. I think that's adorable. With a nose ring? Cute. So they are harder to level up, and they don't like people either. Flashback to my friend streaming and ate a couple of bananas with a spray. I felt so bad for her. I feel like bananas and pop probably wouldn't be a weird mix. Or, I mean, probably would be a weird mix. God, if y'all literally just hate people, you can leave. So we got mushrooms I can gather here. He's still doing the wood things over there. Oh, that's even me. That is she. Sorry. Alright, is there anything around I need to do? Those things are doing good. The next day is gonna be the day that people need food again, though. Have I held a sermon today? I have not. Let's go ahead and hold that. Welcome in, all you new peoples, to the cults. Alrighty, can I perform a revival now? No. Sad. That decreases things, that decreases things. I need things that increase. I don't want to fish, though. I've been avoiding the fishing quest, but I probably should check up on the other end of things over there. Have you learned your lesson yet? We've already done did you? Get some more things go. Oh, we need more wood for that. Alright, we're actively struggling in the wood department. I only have 7 of. How many, like, refined things do we have? Do we have enough to upgrade anything? Oh, I have 14. I definitely have enough to upgrade some things. Okay. Upgrade the missionary. We have 9. So as soon as he's done with 1 more plank, we'll be able to get another thing built. Can we... Everyone over here? Cool, let's inspire real quick. Not everyone's inspired. Oh, I've already inspired you. Yes, everyone's been inspired. Okay. We'll go be... Oh, hey, you're back. So let's send... Send Nar on... We still need wood, which is an issue. But I also need berries. We'll send you on a berry mission. I send another person. Alright. That's fine. So they're on another mission for more wood. Now that you mentioned it, I just refreshed. Okay, so we could try next round and see if Ben gets in for the next follower thing. Because we're definitely... Oh, the fast has ended. Okay. That's a scary thought. I don't like the fact that the fast is MIA. Fine, you will learn tomorrow not to mess with the cult. Make some more of those and see what we can build. I think I just needed 1, right? We can do the farm upgrade. I wonder if that upgrades the radius. Because that would be cool if it does. Even B also has a quest. What quest we got, Even B? What you got? Thank you, leader. My faith in you is justified. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess we had a quest for Even B. I don't remember there being a quest, but you know, I'll take it. Alrighty, so that is now upgraded and they can gather things. I think that probably means I should probably build another farm because I do need more farm things going. It's about to be nighttime. We did not get... Oh, we actually did get a decent bit of food. So we'll just make a crap ton of food so everyone's happy while I'm gone. Yes, there will still be food in the morning, guys. You'll be okay. Making a lot of food so we don't have to worry about people being hungry while I'm gone. Any other spooters around? No, no more spooters? Weird. I don't like that there are none. Does that mean food supply is a little lower? But we'll go ahead and make what we have available. But did you just poop? Why are you pooping by the food? There are literally 2 whole outhouses. Bubbly? You Bubbly. What are we doing? Go to sleep. Why are you eating everything? Yeah, or don't. Can you not? Why is Bubbly eating literally all of the food? I will throw you in jail. What's your thing? Can you literally save any other food for like anybody else? Holy shit. That's just rude. Pretty bun man. Hello. I'm going back to games again. Love your face, Cookie. Love you, Ben. We'll see you around. Alrighty. Well, I feel a little disrespected in the fact that Bubbly is just eating literally everyone's food. So I need a bunch of regular wood so I can make another farm. I feel like that would be one of the other most useful things I could probably do right now, but I need 20 wood for that. We can go ahead and hold a sermon, because I think that will be the next best thing for me to do besides just doing more dungeon run. Alright. Hey, Witchy. Welcome in. Thank you for coming back. We got 2 old people in the call now. I just want people to not die. Ooh, we can upgrade all the way. Swing, swing, swing. Yeah, everyone's happy. And now we'll do some more crown things, because I have that going. So everything's on 3. We'll bring the worship back. Perform a ritual at your temple which allows your followers to work through 3 days and nights without getting tired. Perform a ritual at your temple declaring a day of rest. Your followers will not work that day and will gain 80 faith. See, I really want this one, because that would be so useful. Oh, what one do we do? Because that one would save us if we were, like, absolutely, like, desperate. That one would be so useful. But then they would have to eat and stuff. But we'll save the backup plan. I don't want to... I want the hard working so I can get stuff quicker, but... I think the day of rest would be better, too, because then I could go dungeon crawling without anything being weird. Everything else is still on a cooldown. Yeah. Yeah, everything else I want is still on a cooldown. Alrighty. Y'all have a good day. We have our backup plan saved. Everyone's still happy. Everyone's still doing good. Can we re-educate you now? Can you be useful to the cult? Yeah. There we go. I don't like that you're still, red-eyed, but we'll take it. Alrighty. Ritual cooldowns have been reset. We're bringing someone back? Ooh, let's go. We also can do another crown sermon too. Thank you guys. That was probably the best thing we could have done. Y'all are amazing. Okay, so now that that's done, let's do assure them of the afterlife again. Unlocks grave building, gains 2 faith when followers grieve at a grave. Ooh. Natural barrier building. Building the corpses of the dead flowers may return at the earth by becoming fertilizer. The graves though, that's kind of cute. There's little gravestones for everyone who is dead. Now we can... Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't want to ascend anyone yet, even though we do have 2 old people. Alright, so we're close, but I don't have enough bones. It's a no bones moment. Okay, so I have plenty of stone. I really almost need to just stop messing around with the stone. Go ahead and build another lumber thing. Also, where's the little grave? They said that there was gonna be a little grave that we could have for him. And I would very much like to set that up. Do I have to go over to it? I'm so confused as to how I do the little graves. That's the body. Oh, there they are. I don't have enough for it. Oh, I don't have enough money. That's an issue I haven't ran into for a long while. Those mons. Let's go ahead and donate. Fish. Bone. A rock. Donate quite a bit of these, actually. There we go. That gives us enough money to be able to do that grave now. I think that's cute. Like, it's a lot of money to do. But it's fine, because I also have the ability to make more money. We could also bring in a new follower. I don't think the mushrooms actually do anything for us, though, so we are very much in a desperate need of seeds. Did what's his name come back yet? Oh no. He did not come back. Sparkles. Okay, hear me out. We're gonna send you on a mission for seeds. You gotta redeem yourself. But I don't think our turtle friend came back. That's okay. That's why we're not using our Twitch people for expeditions. Everything else is set. Wait, food. Sanitary. I have 2 bathrooms and they're already overflowing again. That's fine because we can top off the poop sanctuary. Then go on a quest. I feel like that's probably the best thing for me to do because I don't have anything else I really can do from anyone else. Yeah, everyone's healthy. Food. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make a decent bit of grass food. It's not what I want to feed people, but until the person's back with seeds or until I can find more seeds is what we gotta do. Do another round of grass, which I'm starting to quickly run out of grass too, which is concerning. Wait, what are we doing? Build decorations. Oh, fuck yeah, I can build decorations. Let me... What about some of these ones? Build like one there. One there. Do like one there and there. We'll light up the toilets too. There you go. Decorations be done. Okay, while that's going, I'm still gonna wander to the other places Got a little clubby cookie. Love you, kitty. That's not what I'm trying to do. Alright, so we gotta go down here because I know they have something worshiping me down here. I honestly should probably check on these a little more often. Those are cards, those are things, that's fishing, so it's just inside that things are going. Yes, let me collect. I honestly forgot these guys existed and I only come back every like once per stream. I hate that you can't barrel roll into the unknown. Alright, so what was over here again? Pass, we have cards. Everyone's eating grass. Buddy. We got a bunch of mushrooms for you, Sozo. I don't remember what you have for us either, but... Yes, yes. These will do just fine. Okay, so Sozo will share this ritual, but you must not show anyone. Stand back. We will get brainwashed too. My character doesn't move. Oh, it's a trip. Faith will be locked at pool for 2 days? Okay. I will take that. Done. As you can see now, Sozo's loyal followers are brainwashed. They'll do whatever Sozo says for a few days and lose no faith in Sozo. But afterwards, many of them will fall sick. Oh, so I don't want to use that. I have a lot of mushrooms, Sozo. I don't want to perform a brainwashing ritual. It's like literally the last thing I want. Buy a follower for him. I'll buy a new thing for you guys. What's we got? We got a little fox. It's like all the monies we had, but you know. Sozo wants nothing to do with us now. Definitely do not want to brainwash anyone though. Like the opposite of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a good cult leader. Okay, run past here because I know there's a little temple thing. What's up, snake dude? Well, well, child, you found your way here. Fancy match? Be warned, I play for keeps. Nope. I don't understand what that was, so I haven't messed with it. But also, it is nighttime, so I should probably come back over here to check on my people before I go on a quest. And I have someone to claim quest things from. Yes, bubbly. Thank you. Go to bed. Okay. Day 40. No one's in jail. Everyone's happy. There are old people that exist. No, come on. I am going to have them start to make money, though. Yeah, because I have a lot of things that can make money for us. Don't really have much on the food source, though, which is the thing that kind of has me a little bit nervous is food. We also need seeds. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but it works. Collect your stuff after coming out of the bathroom. Oh, we got 2 old people. I don't necessarily like that. Oh, wait, do we have bones? Is that what I was doing? Yeah, I needed bones. I haven't done any of that. I also have gifts. Raises loyalty, raises loyalty. increased movement speed, and never sleep. Alrighty, so if anyone like seems to remotely get nervous or mad at us, we can probably change that. I also, wait, we had the mushroom flag. The mushroom flag was gonna be adorable and I totally forgot about it. Fly it. Yeah, right by the temple. I feel like that's a valid spot for it. We will also hold a sermon. Just a regular one. Also, I feel like I should probably ascend an elder because there are literally 3 of them there. Yeah, I probably should. Because I don't want 3 people dying while I'm gone. Yep. Ascension time. The old person is gonna go away. Shadow, Patty. There was one other. Oh, and Alana. Alright, Patty. Get out of here. The Shadow's an actual Twitch person and we'll give them an actual gravestone. Ascension! Alright, bye guys. Have a wonderful time. I'll take your money. Cool, cool. Everything is gathered. Food is at least on the way. You're making money, which is good. Alright, I think it's time to do a dungeon crawl. Twitch is deciding my fate. I will wait until you guys get to decide before I leave. A variant's back! Heck yeah, that's why I've been burying the Twitch people and not, ascending them. Welcome back, a variant! Let's... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me inspire you. You're back from the dead. We'll give you some hope. Welcome back, a variant. Thank you guys for bringing him back. Okay, so that's one less one I have to do. I have this person, I have platinum, and I think I had like 1 or 2 others that existed in there. Cool. Okay, so from here, what do I want to do? What is that going to do? Just does it faster? I feel like the flame devotion would help us, because I feel like we're upgrading a little slower than we once were. Alright, so those are just upgrades of those. Cool, cool. So how much does that cost to do? Oh wait, I still gotta do this one too. Fuck, god damn it. Am I dumb? Is that not something I can build? Thought it was something I could build. Wait, now I'm really confused. Hold up, what was this? Shrine Flame Bundle. I don't know, I'm really confused. There's more decorations though. I've already seen that one. Unless you're talking about the offering statue? I don't know. I'm just confused. If I have enough to make that other statue though, that'd be cool. I literally need 2 more. Is there a tree or something I can cut down? There's a tiny tree. Also, my people are getting hungry again. I don't like that they're getting hungry again. Please just survive for me. I say that like they're dying or something, but they're happy. I'm just freaking out because the bar is going down a tiny bit. So let me bring in some more faith items. Bring that down here by the water fountain. Heck yeah, even B. You do that. While that's happening, I do need to see what kind of food I can make for my peoples. Nice, that's a lot more food items. So then we can make... Oh, not that. Anything but that. That's poop. 2 of those. We have a couple of those. And then throw in a couple of grass pieces. Even though our grass is starting to run out. And that's also concerning. Considering I did a fast not too long ago. You could always give them a day of rest and make them not hungry anymore, though. Inspire anyone who wants to be inspired. Yes, I love gathering them in a mass like that. Like a mini Sherman. Alright, so they got plenty of things to do while I'm gone. All their houses are cool. Their poop stalls definitely need to be emptied before I go. Oh, okay, so Nar is still around. Okay. That means we should be getting things soon for that. Refined resources? Ooh, okay, that's extremely useful. Okay, I gotta go dungeon crawling. That's really the only thing I can do right now is dungeon crawl. Another chain's gonna be down. Left side. Oh, I forgot that you were around. Seed shop. And I don't have any money. What use am I? Oh, hey, dudes. You're just gonna help me open up the new thingy? Cute. Alright. Let's go into the deep. Ooh, a hammer. This means I should oh, I don't know if I like the hammer. I probably should have read that. That's my bad. Yeah, the hammer, that's such a slow attack. Ooh, crystal shards, though. That has to be useful for something. Oh. The sooner I can get rid of the hammer, the more I will like it. I mean, I like that it's a lot of, like, one hit. There's also a lot of time to wait for it to smack. What cards are we doing? Gain an extra half? Ooh, yeah, that's like a whole regular heart. Got some more meat for my cult. Yeah, no, I don't like this. I feel like I'm really vulnerable. All right. Now everyone's poisoned. A little floating thing can screw off too. All right, gotta go back because I missed something. What's up, dude? Please just... Oh, I didn't like what you just did there. Oop. I forgot that that seed seller dude was over there though, so that's gonna be helpful in the future. Today's on That's Wholesome. I just found out that the protagonist in Bayonetta 3 is voiced by Frizzy Voices. Ooh. I don't know who that is at the top of my head, but that's cool if it's someone you know. Or like a thing you like or something. No, dude, okay, so like I'm starting to find out in the anime community, a lot of people are voice acted by the same person. So it's just really cool to see like who else, like All Might voices and stuff like that. Like a lot of them are in Borderlands and or like Persona or Dragon Ball. Like a lot of them are in the same things together and it's really neat. Ooh. I'll happily take the one that just damages people more though. Let me get some grass. Am I even getting grass? Okay. Alrighty. We're moving on to the fight. Matt Mercer is everywhere. I feel like I recognize that name already. I'm excited to see who's gonna be at Colossicon this year because me and Gavin did not get to like meet anyone last year, but the voice of Sailor Moon was there. And that would have been really cool to attemptably do, but... Oh, you are angry. Oh, please. Yes, my dagger. Please give me something that attacks fast. Thank God. Yeah, no, I recognize the name Matt Mercer, though I don't know off the top of the head who, but... I have an awesome Matt Mercer story? Go for it. We love awesome stories. Get poisoned, dude. Oh, someone just did something. I don't know what someone just did, but even B did something or another. What are we getting, though? Enemies have a chance to drop fish. Yes, please. Let me feed my colony. They deserve all the food. He did Cole in Overwatch. Legion in Resident Evil 6. That person in Mortal Kombat 9. SBO in Sonic. Kingdom Hearts, Ira, Deadshot in Injustice 2. Ooh. So he's the new Cole voice. The good Cole voice. No, I'm gonna fuck up your area around you and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm a little ram that's on a rebellion. You sent many vessels like you, one after the other, and they all fall. You've gotten further than most, granted. I shall enjoy watching your cult rot from the inside. Instead of this— No! No, Nami! No, Nami! If I was home, I would set you to bed rest immediately. We gotta go so we can save Nami. Please just die so we can go save Nami. Follower will harvest bonus resources. Ooh. I do like that one. We gotta go so we can save Nami. He's always been Cole's voice actor even... No, it wasn't Cree. Oh, wait, wasn't it like... The like Portuguese one or something was the bad one? There was a bad Cole voice actor and that's partially why they changed his name. It's actually like one of the main reasons why the name change happened. Oh. Did I die? Did they die? Oh no, I died. Okay, I was not paying attention to my health whatsoever. That's fine. That's fine. We try again. Two of my friends were at Comic-Con Canada and he was signing autographs and stuff. They came up to him, merchant sign. He's like, hey, I'm about to break for lunch right now. You guys want to come? I'll pay. Oh, and took him to tacos? I love that so much. Chat's deciding something. Also, who is sick? Bubbly? Where's Bubbly at? Bubbly. We're gonna... Oh, wait. Can I not heal Bubbly? Wait, are you just magically not sick anymore? Oh. Well, thank you. I was about to put him on bed rest, but y'all were just like, nah, it heals now. Y'all have been sweet today. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to collect the poop. Turtle's back. Welcome back, dude. I did it, leader. I have retrieved what you were after on the missionary. Heck yeah. Go sleep. Go have fun. So they come back tired, which is perfectly fine. We can hold a new sermon. Which, can we finally revive someone or not? Did I get enough to be able to revive? Also, there are 3 elders right now. At least I have 3 graves open. We're gonna level up the cult again. I'm gonna get the weapon upgrade first. Then we got a crown upgrade, which we can... Law and order. We will very much... Y'all have to bow down before me. Perform a ritual at your temple, which you appoint a follower as your loyalty enforcer, tasked with patrolling the cult and raising the loyalty of your followers. That'd be kind of cool. You appoint a follower as your tax enforcer. Increase collecting money from other cult members. The money's not really an issue. I have the immediate one. No, wait. No, because then at that point, this person would help any people who are straying. So I think we'll do that. McCree was changed to Cole because McCree is named after one of the frat boys in the devs. Lori McCree is codenamed Cole Cassidy and the character's real name. Gotcha. I say I remembered there was something about it that was weird. Also, it decreased anyways. I don't know. I don't know. Only have 47? I don't have anywhere near enough for that. Oh, I made the wrong choice in that ritual, didn't I? God damn it. Okay, well, I'm gonna move on with my life for now. I just want to revive someone again. Like, that's my main goal, is to revive everybody. Alright, so we can collect all of this and get some more seeds planted. So that's 2 wood shacks down and a stone shack down. We really don't need the stone shacks at all. I just like having the resource handy whenever we do end up needing it. Continue to make some money. But just for my sanity before I use up all the wood, we're gonna go ahead and make a bunch of new wood things because that is... Oh, I don't have enough money for it. God damn it. But I think that means I can make another farm though. Yeah, because I got wood going. Do farm there for now, and I think I do want to move. Do those have to be in there? Hold on. Do they have to be in there, or do they just have to be around? If they just have to be around, then that would make that... give me even more of a reason to put that, like, there and there. But then this little dude... really useful there. But then that only covers about half of that one, so I think we'll just keep him there, and we'll probably have to make another one. Alright. I got a lot of organizing to do at some point here soon, but I don't have that right now. God, that's a lot for a scarecrow, too. I need the wood to get going. Nothing's going on around here. Alright, so that has a fire going, that has that going. I hope they still reach that. Oh, there are also a couple of new... I know there's a person following me, but there are a couple of new spots that I can also fill in, too. Hold on, bud. Oh, I literally need more money. Calm down. You really are the chosen one. Shouldn't you be the fish jumping in your net? No. I should have picked... Can I change my rituals? I should have picked the money one. God damn it. Can I change my mind? I don't think I can. I regret picking this one. I should have picked that one. God damn it. I'm mad at myself now. I need the money. Which, I mean, I guess I could sell things for money. Oh, I should have not have done that gold bar. It's fine. Because now we got a little bit of money back. So then we can finish up the last two little farm bits if I can reach it. There we go. This little bit of farm. I'll go ahead and make just a couple. God, the diagonal pattern there gets me. Okay, so then what else do we need for the upgrade? We need 10 actual wood, which means we only need one more of those going. Then we'll continue to make the money. Need a regular... Was it wood or money that I needed for the wood issue? I don't remember, but my faith is falling. I don't like that the faith is falling either, though. Everything's falling. Oh, he's the voice actor for Levi in Attack on Titan. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. There's also... Dragonfly Law in both One Piece movies. See, I've watched a little bit of One Piece recently. Not a lot, but Gavin's been on like a big kick of it. So I've caught a couple of stories and it seems really good. Like it's one of those long ones that I might actually consider watching one day. I've attempted to watch Naruto and I've attempted to watch Fairy Tail and I can't get on it. So these are already getting full again. Riot's grieving at the grave. Alright, there we go. We got all the seeds going. Can I make any food for everybody? No, not poop. God damn it. I keep just auto-grabbing the poop. Alright, so that's not food for everyone, but I do need to save my grass because now we got double farms going. Come get your foods. Come get your foods. Inspire. Inspire the people eating food. Also, can we not shit places? That'd be cool. Not shitting just random places. Catch all the spiders for all the food. So then y'all can wake up to even more food, and then I can go adventuring without worrying about you guys just dying on me. Besides the elders. I'm constantly worried about them dying on me, but that's a whole other story. How much do I have? I know that was a lot, but it's okay. Because I just want to get the farm upgraded so it can also be automated. Chef is loyal. Nintendo Switch, hello! Welcome back! So I haven't been on in a while. I've just been hanging out with my bro, Jake, and playing games, hanging out with the family. How's life been? Mine's been going great. Met some friends, placed people with autism called Easter Sills. It's been a blast. The game looks awesome visually and audibly. Dude, this game is super fun. Like, it's... this game, it's amazing. But welcome back, Nintendo Shoes. I'm happy to see you again. Never apologize for not being around. Like, I'm just here to chill and vibe the best of my abilities and provide chill and vibes for you guys. I want to make another one of these shrines, though. Those shrines are... they're so good. Ooh, that can be upgraded too. Suppose I could probably work on getting, like, the deluxe home for everyone, too. So I need more wood for that, and then I'm good to go. So I'll make a couple more of those before I end up leaving. Another one of those would be cool, but I know that's not what we're going for right now. Alrighty. I say that will probably end up being a pretty productive morning. There's no more spiders around. About the only thing that I could have ready for everyone is food. Which I only have 3 of, unfortunately. But 3 is better than nothing. What are you doing awake? Are you not? Why are you... What are you doing? Why are you coming up here? You hungry? Oh. They didn't see anything. No one saw anything. Y'all didn't see crap. Yep. Okay, can I sell the follower meat? There we go. No one saw anything. What's up, Bubbly? Hydration? I got you, lady. Welcome here. Min-Levitt leader. Please don't judge me, but I've always wanted to eat a meal made of poop. Sure, I will go make you a hot, steamy poop meal. Just for you, Bubbly. Oh, did I just eat Bubbly's meal? Interact. Go eat your bowl of poop. You can't be mad at me. Oh, everyone's mad at me, though. Hold up. Serban, why are you guys mad at me? I made a bowl of poop because someone asked me to make them a bowl of poop. That's not my fault. I don't know if I told you finally got my Dolby Autolus receiver. My audio is working. Heck yeah. I think this is on the Switch though. Alright. We desperately need something to like me. So that's 30. That's only 12. I can't ascend anyone right now. Alright. Hi guys. Let's hold a little bonfire to make you happy. See, we can be good. We can be friendly. And what was the... Yeah. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. That's all I have. Also, someone's unhappy. Mangun. Jail. We're not dealing with you right now. Tired of your crap. We're gonna re-educate you. Yeah, see? You'll be good by tomorrow. Someone's sick. Someone's sick. Who's sick? Bubbly. Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. Let's heal you. Get in there. You chill. Twitch is deciding my fate. I'm nervous. Riot's old. Oh, can Riot not be old? Oh, we definitely need to get a lot more grass going. Bubbly, what's up? No? I don't know, something was happening over there. Okay, so one person's not happy, but that's okay. One person not being happy is in jail, and that's really all that matters. Let's send someone else on a quest. Nar? You're a great quest person. We'll send you on... Ooh, a bone quest. No, we'll send you on a meat quest, because I know our food's also a little sketchy right now. We're trying to get there. Everyone's not so happy, but that's okay. What are you guys trying to give me? Fish? I'll take fish. I will happily make some food with your fish. Guess I won't. Let me... sell like a thing here and there. We got some more money going. Varian's happy to see a man thrown in jail. What can we do to make people happy? These old bones grow tired. I don't like when my people die though. I like survival, because then when you guys die, it means I have to bring you back to life, and that's just problematic. Can I ascend you actually? Has the ascension cooldown come off? That's not what I wanted to do. No, I can't even ascend you yet. Alrighty, back to the crown, I guess. What console are you playing on? Or is this PC? I'm doing PC right now. It's just Xbox recommended controller. But if you are on PC, you do have a chance of joining my cult, though. Game Pass, I have no idea. I say it's just recommended controller, so I'm just playing with an Xbox controller, but I'm doing it on my PC. I think it's... I want to say it's on all consoles, though. Occult members will gain more faith while delivering a sermon? Fuck yeah. I will happily take more faith while delivering a sermon. Because y'all need to have faith in me. I don't know what you're complaining about. I didn't sermon, did I? I did already sermon. Okay. Okay. Well, not everyone's happy, but it's fine. Let me inspire these guys. Yeah, y'all are inspired. See, very inspiring. Hey Bubbly, what's up? Great leader, I like you. No, I love you. Would you make me the happiest creature in the world and marry me? Sure. Let me casually just get everything I need to be able to marry you, Bubbly. Go do wood. I've already re-educated him today. I need wood so I can have more people doing wood while I'm gone. Because otherwise, I'm just screwed. I need one more wood. Chop down a tree. Whoa, Invisibeetle was just running through things over there. Have you played FIFA Rush yet? No, I have not. I don't know what that is either. I want to play another roguelike game that I would really like to play. Shadow! Shadow, who said we could die? Right in front of Riot, who said you could die? No, y'all go to bed. Y'all chill out. We're gonna bury him. We're gonna give him a tombstone. That's not what I wanted. So then hopefully we can bring him back to life later. I don't think I have enough money for a gravestone. Oh no, I do. Okay, cool. Oh, does it already have a grave? Cool, I don't have to rebuild one. Okay, so now I should have enough to build the next wood thing so they can work on that while I'm gone. Do that. Food is not quite there. I don't really have anything I can do for him though. So I'm gonna gather from the shrines and then go on a dungeon crawl. I feel like that's really the only way I can help anything right now. It's about... No, that's not the one I wanted to go on. Crap. I don't want to be in this one. Fuck. Can I not go back? Oh, what? I don't want to do a brainwashing ritual. And I literally have to run this right now, don't I? God damn it. At least I can gather grass and bones. It's not necessarily what I want to be doing or gathering, but it will be useful. Just a chest room? Okay. I've never ran into that before, but we will take it. Come on. Need more grass in my life. Give me a card. Poison. Poison is always good. We don't need anything else but bones and grass. Alright, so I think I got a little bit of grass so far. That's just chaos, and I love everything about it. Bones and grass, because now I have to marry someone. I don't even remember who I have to marry. I just know it's somebody. What What does your shirt have on it? Is it a game or something? Or is it a game you're playing now? It's an evolution shirt. Like the Pokemon evolutions. I love it. I just wish Leafeon was green. Like, I don't like that it's like a double yellow because they're like slightly offset yellows, but yeah. Alrighty. If only I could teleport quicker. Okay, what do we have? I do think I need a new follower, though. Like, I feel like we're a little behind on the amount of people we have. So, if you guys are on desktop right now, here after we are done dungeon crawling, I will have an open spot open. But you do have to be on desktop for it. Trying to gather all the bone things that I can. Let me smack that. There you go. You'll be free and you'll be there. Nice, cool. Eevee is nice. Eevee is nice. I love Pokemon. Pokemon's pretty cool. It was honestly what got me into gaming, I think. It's like, I liked a lot of the like really girly games when I was younger. Like the Imagine games and stuff like that, but like Pokemon like was really what set it home for me. Okay, sweet. The portal straight to there. So hopefully I got enough bones to be able to do the one ritual. I don't even know at this point. I didn't want to come down this way. Yes, fight me, Lishi. I've fought you so many times. We're gonna go rounds again. Well, what about Barbie games? Did you play the horse game? I did have the horse game. I say I played the horse one, I think, online? I don't know. I played a lot of the online Barbie games. I don't know. Did I have the other? I had some sort of horse game. One of my other favorites, it was like a time management game. But it was about, running like a veterinary clinic and the animals could get like adopted and stuff. It was pretty cool. Come on, Lishi. We got him dead. Oh, and that's a lot of money too. Money was definitely one of the things we needed. A bale of hay! Heck yeah, that's one of the things that the dude wants me to buy, and I don't necessarily want to buy it. That'll decorate the farms really well, too. Now we got a decent amount of bones. It's the next day, so we can definitely hold a sermon and see where people are chilling. Oh, I missed. There we go. I'm 97, so I should be able to hold 2 rituals pretty easy. I heard of them, only seen gameplay on YouTube, but never played them. But they're probably cool. Oh yeah, no, like they were neat. Like they were definitely more meant for like the younger age that I was when I played them. But I still have all my old like Game Boy and DS games. All right, so that auto grabbed. Oh, so that shack's already done. We definitely already need to build a new shack. People are hungry, but that's okay. I don't want to talk to you. Let's build that before I just blatantly forget about it. Hello, man. Can we re-educate you today so we can send you back into the townspeople and be okay? Oh, so you're still not faithful yet? We'll wait until you're faithful. Okay, so there's a bunch of seeds ready to go too. Can you not reach these? I had to think for a second. Hey Cookie, I wish I could stay, but I'm dozing off. Gotta head to bed early. Love your streams. Have a good weekend. Good night, Chefy. I will be live again tomorrow, and then we are off for a few days. But if you happen to be on tomorrow, we will be chilling. But we do have another follower raffle. So as I said, if you are on PC, you have a chance to be this little dude. So there should be a little pop-up popping up. I will leave this up. I do have to run to the restroom real quick, but that will give you guys a chance to join up on that dude. We'll start the raffle. Did I just remember something? We'll start the raffle as soon as I get back from the restroom. Alrighty, so we got one person in the raffle. Let's go ahead and click end raffle on that, and you can start building your character. Nintendo Switch, welcome to the cult. Now you get to like design your whole little dude. It's adorable, I love it. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. We are building our little dude. How do I do the avatar? It should just be popping up like it did with the raffle. To say, I haven't actually seen that screen myself, but it should just kind of be around the same lines of however you entered. Don't actually know. I've never watched anyone play this game because I was trying to stay really was trying to stay really spoiler free for everyone. Oh, I do not want to be lurking in this person's chat. Literally, actually, one of the last people I want to be in their chat. Like, I hate click cancel, but I don't know if that would cancel out your whole raffle thing. Did nothing pop up for you, Nintendo? It did. I'm on the guide. Ah, gotcha. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh, I have chocolate. I also have ice cream downstairs, but that requires me going downstairs and getting everything I need for ice cream. When I have chocolate now. Forgot I had these and now I'm really excited. I wanted something sweet. Next moment. Yes, as my bot was saying though, make sure you're checking out the socials between the stream. My next main big goal is to try to get YouTube up to 1,000 people. Because if we can get YouTube up to 1,000 people, then we'll be doing some really cool things. So make sure you check out that link /TikTok. That'd be link in bio for you beautiful people. Dancey dance. Dance. Dance, dance, dance. Dance. Actually, I'll be your beat. I'm gonna get my water filled up while we're in the screen. You have to configure the extension? You should. I didn't think you had to have the extension installed or anything to be able to have it be together. I could be wrong though. Like if you enter, I thought you could just do it after that. Like, should I cancel? I don't know what I need to do. Do I just need to wait? It's fine though. It's snack break time. Is it the 7 TV one? No, it should have just been something that popped up for you, like, because it's just like something via my extension that pops up. So I'm gonna click cancel. I'll try again. Hopefully it doesn't bug out. If it says you can't join, refresh. We try again. But no, no one else has had to have the extension or anything. It should just be something that pops up. Okay, we got you in. Cool, so now it should be something that pops up again that just allows you to make your little person. At least everyone else has always had it pop up. There we go. Heck yeah, glad we got it figured out. Little frog, shy little frog, singing along to this fun tune. Shy little frog, singing along to this fun tune. I feel like I'm definitely out of tone because I can't hear myself right now. I'm sorry. That video is adorable and I love it though, and I've shared it so many times on TikTok. If you've had that song pop up, it's 100% my fault. But welcome in, Nintendo Switch. You are easier to level up. Level up. We're gonna have you do wood. Yeah, wood seems like fun. Riot's still old. I need to marry Bubbly still. My people need to eat still. So how much wood do I have? I have 8 wood. I definitely need to hold off for a second. But what I can do is... Oh no, I can't because I need to make a scarecrow before I do that. Increase the speed in which farm plots. Ooh, hold up. Hold up, let me move that over here, because then I can increase the speed in which... Oh, I hate that. I actually hate that. Hold on. I don't necessarily need speed because I have plenty of things already, so we'll just keep that there for a moment. Is there anything else I can do before I go fertilize? No. Fertilizer silo, we have that. That's all upgraded. So I'm literally just waiting on that scarecrow, which I need more wood for. Okay, so that's ready, that's ready. Have I held a sermon today? Or was I waiting until I had my new person? I have not held my sermon, so let's go ahead and do that. Bring everything up. Hydration. Thank you, Ben. Cheers. Give me all your love. We got a crown thing going. Hello, I have more things. Alrighty. Cult members will gain substance encourage trait. 28th, when brainwashing ritual is performed, all cult members will gain the Increase work speed and devotion. Gathering increase by 10, but 50% chance followers will become sick after brainwashing. Oh wait, that lowers the chance of followers becoming sick. Does that mean it gets lower or high? I think that means it goes lower. So I'm gonna go with that one, because if I do brainwash, that means we just get, we don't lose things. I don't know, I hate this. Rituals, can I revive someone yet? I can indeed revive it. Y'all are probably gonna be mad at me because people are dying, but I need to bring back my Twitch peeps. Fearless Coconut, 35 days. Lady was 42. 32 for Platinum. I think Platinum's buried, though. Let's bring back Fearless. Fearless hasn't been back in a hot minute. Welcome back, my friend. This is awesome. How do I get the game? Is it on Game Pass or is it on Switch? If so, is it in cartridge form? I have no idea to any of those questions, unfortunately. You would probably just have to do a little check and see if it is. I believe it's on every platform. They really want me to brainwash people, and I really don't want to brainwash people. Oh wait, I do need to marry someone. God damn it, I forgot that I needed to marry someone. I still have a lot of time to marry Bubbly though, so it's fine, it's fine. We do need food going though, which is slightly concerning, because I definitely don't have grass to give people anymore. Alright, that's a little bit of food. Might run out and see if I can get any more seeds from the seed dude. Yes, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. What's up, grub dude? Ooh, what is that? Cauliflower? I know that's a lot of money I just spent on seeds, but I'm also okay with spending that much money on seeds if it keeps my people alive. My people are gonna stay alive for a minute, so we'll go ahead and try to do one more run of the dungeon before we end for the night. Because, in case you guys do not remember, it is daylight savings tonight, so you will lose an hour of sleep. Be warned. So I gotta prepare for that myself because I'm back to work tomorrow, which sucks. What is this? Entering the lands of the bishop, the old faith, you will be destroyed. I will destroy you. Whoa, hey buddy. I don't like what that dude was doing. You just straight up send bombs after me. I don't appreciate that. Okay. Please give me grass. I need grass and I need... Oh, there's a heart over here. Can't believe I almost missed that. I need grass and I need crystals. Never thought that grass would be a super valuable resource in this game, but it is, in case you did not know. Don't feed your people to it. And go down. Nope, should have went up. No, unless I needed to go down. No, I definitely needed to go up. Come on, dude, we're gonna fight to the death, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so I am indeed getting grass for smacking things in here. That is good. Oh, wait, there's... I'm so confused. I don't know what way is going to be the right way. There's so many directions now. Okay, what's up, dude? You were definitely the way I needed to go. 2 times more than that. 10%. I like the 10% critical. I can make an offering? I didn't know that. That's kind of neat. I didn't know I could make an offering to him, but like at that point, I'm keeping my money. I'm a bit greedy. Doop, doop, doop. I'm a little lamb and I'm rolling away. Also, this tree has screwed me over so many times. I don't know if I trust it, but I really want to, like, try. What's up, tree? I will make one offering. Nope. Okay. I'm just never gonna offer to the tree again. It has done nothing but absolutely betray me, and I don't appreciate it. We can gain a follower, we can gain a heart, we could do a mystery. It's like a heart and a mystery, though. We'll do a heart and a mystery. Hello. My love took my heart to sea, and the sea she took the heart to see. It says where my heart will be, in her bed at the bottom of the sea. Welcome, Crusader. Take a moment to join me in my search to find the heart that once beat in my chest. That was taken by her. I have been sitting here for many years. Even her face was faded away from my mind. I keep searching, always searching. I have a dozen of hearts, you see, but none of them are mine. They are yours, if you wish to have them, Crusader. They are worthless to me. I care only for the heart that was once mine, so that I might look upon her face one last time. And just kill your hearts? Aww. Gain an extra 2 hearts? Don't need that, though. God, I really don't need that, though. Aww. I mean, thanks for all the hearts. That dude was sweet. Should I be concerned for this next run? Hey, dude. I think this was a fighting stage, right? Receive challenge. Hello there, Crusaders. Stand your ground. If you can complete the next combat rooms without dodging, a reward shall be yours. But if you fail, the alas, not for you. Oh no, that's why the hearts were there. Yikes. So I have to go like the whole rooms without dodging? Oh, I don't like that. No dodge. Three rooms. Okay. Oh, yeah. I don't like these rooms. These rooms are not going to be friendly. See, like, does that count just any 3 rooms I go into? Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely I don't like this challenge. Come on, dude. Come this way. Oh. Alright. So that was room number 2. So I just need one more room without dodging. So can I get lucky and maybe find the, God, there are so many ways to go. Okay. Does this count as a room? No? Does it only count if it's a combat room? I'm sorry, but I am in another room. I think you failed to tell me the actual terms and conditions of these rooms. Alrighty. Why aren't you just something? You've completed the challenge. What should you get? You get the decent reward. Oh, it's another flower necklace. Alright. I should probably consider giving my cult people gifts. Ooh, damage and speed increase? Ooh, okay. I like weird characters, my froggy guy. Yay! I think it's really adorable that, like, the Twitch people can be little people in your thing. Like, that's probably what got me, like, so initially intrigued by this game, was just the fact that, like, I can have you guys involved without, you know, being, like, super heavily involved. I just got you running around. I'm trying to keep everyone... I'm trying to keep everyone alive that I can, but it's been really hard. Like, you're still rocking... Sweet setup too. Nice. Mine's doing great too. Heck yeah. Dude, as soon as I can get... Even B just died? God, y'all are making it hard to do. No, so I'm actually... Oops, sorry, TikTok. I have a new PC. This one is currently just being used to lurk and stuff right now. But as soon as I can get a decent graphics card, this will be my main PC, and I'm really excited for that. Because, like, it's a total upgrade from what I have already, minus the graphics card that's in it right now. But as soon as I can get that settled, we will literally be rocking a dual PC setup. I can play games on high quality again. I'm just really excited. But other than that, my main setup's relatively the same. I do have a third monitor going right now, but once again, that's kind of for this guy. I do have some new lights and stuff. I do need to make a TikTok about my, like, new light setup and stuff, because that's pretty cool. Gavin got me a lot of ambient lighting for Christmas. But even B has died. What's up, dude? I think I should just be able to tank this guy out. Yeah, I can. And we got a new dude. I don't know if I want to introduce him quite yet. Ooh, and I can grab something. Follower form. I really need the wood, but I like giving... Oh, an elephant! I say, I like giving you guys new things. Cool. Now we can go home. One run of that done. Got 14 gems too, so I think that might mean we might be good to go to the lighthouse again? I'm not entirely sure. But I just know I gotta quickly run and do sermons and marriage and stuff. You're deciding my fate. Hold on, let me go back outside while y'all decide my fate so I can potentially see what's going on. Oh yeah, hey, even B. Means probably Riot's gonna die soon, because I think Riot was shortly after even. You're still mad. Can we please re-educate you, man? There we go. We honky-dory now? Alright, we can release you again. Please just go be a good noodle man guy. What did Twitch decide? What did you guys decide on? I don't know. Alright, we got some more things in. I can definitely make some more food before too long now. Alright, and I definitely need to make some more wood. We'll get that going. Our stone we really don't need any more of. Scarecrow. Here we go. We're gonna get you just right behind like we do with the other guy. And that's that. What did you guys decide? No one's healed. Everyone's still dead. I'm so confused. Nice, cool. For what, mine is similar specs to yours and runs some newer games 4K. Oh no, mine barely runs Overwatch on high. Like, I have to have Dead by Daylight on medium to be able to play. The game's probably okay. Upgrade CPU and MOBO. Sell my old Ryzen CPU, great price for it. Go for it to GTI. Just get a new computer old. Yeah, no, so like this one, it was actually like one of my friend's computers and we ended up trading our Quest for it. So it was like a couple hundred and then we traded the Quest to get it all the way like done. So I just need a graphics card and it's like a major step up from what I had going. Cow, I did not hold my sermon in time. Variant, I don't know why you were so psyched out. Oh, hey, both of our buddies are back. And it's nighttime, so like, go sleep. I was badly injured during my missionary. I can die in peace knowing I got to speak with you one last time. Oh, okay. Rest in peace. I did it, leader. Okay, so you got us meat. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. God damn it. That's not what I wanted to do. My fucking button mashing is gonna get me in trouble. It's fine. Let me grab our spider meat while we can. God damn it. I didn't want to bury this person. Like, I wanted to just get rid of them. God damn it. Hopefully if you guys end up reviving someone, it's not this person then. Fearless, you're almost healed. There's also a bed missing. I do have two freaking these guys. Oh fuck, I also need some stone being made. I gotta remember that for tomorrow. Make stone. What's funny is your CPU is better than mine, but still runs really good. Ryzen 1700. I have no idea what actually mine is. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I copy and pasted what my computer specs were for my main PC because I don't have this one on there yet. I just have my like main PC in my stats right now. Oh, my brain's blanking. Yeah, I don't even know what the stats are for this. I just know they're supposedly better than what I'm already running. Oh, Chef's getting old. No, y'all need to stop getting old so I can just be okay. Anyways, let me perform some rituals. I do need to unfortunately marry someone. I don't want to marry them, but if I don't marry them, they'll be mad at me. Bubbly Nami. Oh, the specs on your page are for your new PC? No, they're for my, like, my OG PC. Like, I don't know what these ones are. This is my new one. No, to say Gavin's supposed to tell me all of that? I don't know. I literally know nothing about PCs, unfortunately. Alrighty. So I think I'm gonna do some wrap-up things now. Yep, you guys have a wonderful time. That guy is chilling over there. Can't bring anyone back yet, even though I really want to. I do need... What do I need? Other than possibly that. Oh, I wanted to make another one of these because they're really cool. 2 shrines. Double the things people can give me. Anyone come get expired. Nami, give me rewards for that quest. Well, I could make that PC run like a champ on certain games. I could push it to the limits. Yeah, no, see, unfortunately, I'm trying to make everything last a bit. Like, already streaming and everything pushes my computer so hard. Like, especially when I'm on Overwatch, I'm sitting at like 99% on my processor. It is a rough time and a half. Inspire! Anyone who's not inspired, come get inspired. Also, we're about to send our turtle on another quest. He's gonna be our master quester. We're gonna send you... No, we'll send you on a bone quest. I feel like that will be the most useful to me. Do we have anyone else who also isn't? Do we have anyone else that isn't? No, we don't have any non-Twitch people at the moment. Ooh, we got fish. And we got stone. Oh wait, that stone might give us just what we need to be able to make that last gravestone too. Yes, it did. Thank you, gravestone. I really just need to revive someone. That's like my biggest issue I'm running into, is not reviving quick enough. Also, probably need wood soon too. Alright. Food, 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 food. We need to do that. Get everything cooked as best as I can. And then I gotta check around those other 2 areas before we go. That's only bad if overheating a blue screen to death. No, you don't want to overkill anything, because like if you think about it, if you like absolutely go ham and like have everything processing at like the maximum level it can process, that's just someone sick. Kitty cat, it's fine. We will get you to feel better. Heal. Go. All better now. We'll go ahead and pick up the poop so everyone's happy. I'm gonna summon in this person just as like a random dude so we can send him on quests and stuff. Thalios. Thalios is gonna be a little nug. I think he's just gonna be a little nug. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Little nug. There we go. Welcome, Salios. Worship. I'm also gonna inspire you right quick. Because then we can send you on a mission. You have a higher chance of dying, but it's okay. An 80% success. Also, I'll send you on the meat mission, because you have a higher chance of success doing that. We could always use food. Food is honestly always an issue, so... do another one of those and those. Could probably get some more crop spots going now that we have that dude to protect the crops. Come on. There we go. The diagonals! Let me tell you, the diagonals are not fun. Come on. Let me diagonal. Diagonal. Oh my god. Okay. There we go. Uh-oh. Am I out of coins or something? Oh, I'm out of grass. Yikes, okay. That's ever so slightly terrifying as being out of grass. We'll do... Come on, corner it. I just need... There we go. That's what I want. And then this will come down a little bit more. So then I feel like that's just a little more even all the way around. Can I collect grass from here? That'd be cool if I could. Poop houses aren't full. 2 people are definitely running over to them though. What do you use your main display, monitor, TV? What refresh rate is it? I have no idea. It's an AOC monitor. I have just about everything in my setup linked below that I know. My second monitor is actually a TV. It's a Vizio TV. This monitor is an AOC, and then my third monitor that I have hooked up to my second PC is an Acer. I have no idea anything else though. PC parts are like the last thing that I know anything about. Alright, so I've married people, I've had my sermon today. Mingun's over here. You're inspired. I am inspired. Alright, what can we do now? Don't want to summon anything. That seems dangerous. Propaganda seems dangerous. Honestly, the Grand Shelter might help people. Or can I upgrade that? I don't think I'm ready for that, though. I think I'll work on getting a better shelter for everyone first. I'm not necessarily in a rush for anything else. That's probably a lot of wood, so... Our main issue being wood probably will remain to be an issue. Yeah. Oh, it requires poop? Poop and gold. So let's do 2 of you, 1 of you, 2 of you. Because that should be enough for like a house just right off the bat. And then as soon as I can go dungeon crawling, we can get more things going. Kind of want to build another wood thing. What's up? You're exhausted. Please let us have a break. Sure, it's not right now. Go continue working on shit. I didn't say you could have a break immediately. I need to get things up to the point where I need them to be first. I definitely gotta get that all processed. Oh, we have 2 people that are old. Definitely need to revive someone soon. Oh. 12, 13, so like 2 more. And then I can build that. Someone didn't finish chopping down a tree. How do you... That's like the Minecraft stuff that bothers me, is like, how in the world are you gonna go chop down most of a tree and then, you know, not chop down most of a tree? There we go. We got a lot of gold coming in. We can build We can't. Ooh, I could hold a sermon. That would make me money, though. Or I could do this. That was plenty. Riot died of old age. God damn it, Riot. Who said you could die? Goddamn old age. Look at how mad my lamb is about you dying. Let's go build Riot a little grave over here. Bum, 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 bum. Thanks, Athens. We appreciate you. Here lies Riot. What did you guys determine? I don't know what you guys just determined. But you determined something, and I'm nervous. Definitely need to upgrade the grave for Riot. Do just 2 of those. I have a decent amount of like regular logs going. We got meat, we got wood. Heck yeah, we got more meat from that. Now, I need 3 stone for the grave for Riot. Cool, cool. And I think we can also... Does it cost money to upgrade the house? No, it doesn't. Do I have enough to upgrade? Couple of houses in the morning. Riot's grave will have working too. Oh, so much to think about. Your webcam looks 4K too. Yee, it's a Logitech Brio is what I'm running now. I used to run the Logitech Pro Stream, which is 1080p, but we have the Brio now. My mouse is on a flat surface on my couch. Needed a mouse pad. Couldn't vote at time. It's all good. I just happened to miss what it said. I have a really bad habit of not like seeing what it says because it goes by so quickly. I do want to see if I can catch any more spiders. Oh, hey. Stone. Stone's not that interesting. And honestly, there's no spiders either. Okay. So I can make sure I have some food cooked before I go. Boom, boom, boom. One more. Cool. And that's food for the morning. Can probably sell just a couple of things to our overlord. Yeah, that gave us some money. Pumpkin literally sold for nothing. Okay, Pumpkin, I see you. The house is awesome. It will be built in the morning. Our faith is still doing good. Food's still doing good. Cool. We'll go ahead and have our sermon first thing in the morning. So then I can run around and go do other things. Hello. Our cult is getting smaller as we go. I don't think I'm bringing in people quick enough. I also like reviving our Twitch people. I don't want to have randos in here. Day relaxing. I need today to not be that day relaxing, but I guarantee you it will happen soon. We just gotta get shit done first. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Inspire! Inspire this little group of people. What are we building first? are you guys gonna go build? Inspire. Cool, cool. Because the more I can bring up the happiness right now, the better. I also desperately do need to build another wood thing. Do I have enough wood for that right now? Yes, okay. Because wood is like the one resource that like we're dying for. I have enough money. That's fine. That give me 2. That will give me the 3rd one we need. Then we'll have 3 for Riot's Grave. Okay, cool. We're not doing bad. Could be slightly better. Assigned, we will give that to... We'll give it to Nintendo. Nintendo's the newest one. Nintendo shall live in luxury. Alright, let's go upgrade another house right quick, though. It's weird that you have to have poop to upgrade a house. I don't know how I feel about that. You guys pooping? You guys are pooping. Yeah, I think I do need to bring in more people, though. That might be my job for next gen. To you, sir. Can you... Okay, I guess I'll inspire you. I guess old people don't work. I don't like that, but, you know. You say poop? Yeah, poop to upgrade the house. Don't know why. Athen. We're gonna... let you go work on the farm for a bit. Variant. Not wood shop. We're gonna have you do that. Yes, everyone go chop wood. Would be much useful. Have 2 people praying. And these people should still be out for like another day or so. Yeah, you're only out for 1 more. Oh, so if you're out for 1 more day, you should in theory be bringing enough bones to get us where we need to be. There's a beetle. Hope you're working. Thank you. Oh, and we can definitely build Riot's Grave now. There we go. We'll be at Riot's Grave built. Then I will let you guys have your day of rest. That's just what we gotta do. Cool. Riot's Grave is built. We've had our sermon today. Okay, everyone's using the toilet. Kitty needs to leave the toilet. Kitty, can you go? There we go. All right, so let's go. If I have enough money for it, we'll give them the day of rest. Not money, but if we have enough bones for it, we'll give them their day of rest. Cool. Everyone will love me. Yeah, no, our cult's gotten small. We need more peeps. I need to revive more peeps. Alrighty, guys. Have a good rest day. Come on, man. Thank you, leader. My faith was justified. Alright, well... You guys have fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do a dungeon crawl since they're resting today. Don't want to buy anything. We just need to crawl. That's funny, the toilet in your game is the same direction as mine in the apartment. Love it. So I do need more grass. Grass and bones. Especially grass though, because that's how I'm gonna get more crop plots. I love that that was only one. Also, with this dungeon crawl, we should have enough of the coins or whatever. Yeah. Pilgrim's Passage for coins. What's up, dude? Don't pull me in. I'm trying to smack shit. Your friend Ratu was the last vessel sent against us, sniveling coward. There were countless before him, all equally pathetic and unworthy. Nothing humbles quite like a disease. I can plague your own cult. Oh no! That's so many people sick. Oh, that's so many people sick. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, that's so many people when I'm just in the beginning of this crawl. No, 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 no. We got to hurry. I also need the resources I need, so I need to not, like, panic hurry. Just hurry. Alright, please give me the chest. Let me run back up. Please, dude, I need you to die quicker. I need to spam, even though I need to not spam. Thanks for the extra half a heart. What do you got? Hello, wee lamb. Fancy seeing you somewhere dangerous like this. I'm Chloe. This is Boop. We're off to friend Ratu's for a night, drinking and dicing. The only time to be quite a party. Ratu and the others know me for going overboard with betting last time I bet and lost my hand. Talk about overplaying a hand. Haha, it was hilarious. Say, you should come. Cool. I have never played Knucklebones. Nor am I really interested in playing Knucklebones. Chest, chest, chest. Ooh, okay. The decoration, but it's really cool. The crystal tree. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Okay, so what can we get? We can get rocks, we can get that, we can get... I'll go this way. Screw it. Not that the hearts are going to be any useful, but if I get anything that stacks, that'd be cool. Oh, for 100 coins? No, thank you. Goodbye. Alright, so now there's like a shop or something. Oh, what good are hearts if they cannot be given? So it sounds like I can give hearts or something? Blueprint. Cool. I want to unlock as much as I can. No, I don't want to... Oh, holy cow. That's a lot of gifts. So I cannot smack her cart. That's fine. Let's go, let's go. I gotta be quick. We gotta get grass, we gotta get bones, we gotta go back to our cult because a lot of people are sick. I don't think I have enough flowers to heal all those people though. Please give me what I need. Twitch is deciding my fate. They're doing something. Somebody's gonna do something. What? That's a sneaky boy. I don't want to know. Last time I was in the dungeon, they dropped bombs on me. Oh. No one was in the room. I wish I would have moved on, but I was kind of waiting to see what was going to happen so it didn't, like, glitch out or anything. Oh! I think I missed... Oh, I missed, like, 2 rooms. Cow. Well, thanks for trying to help me. Ooh, I'm glad I went back. There's a big money room. And a card. Ooh, and a tower. Ooh, some of these items are really cool. What card are we getting? Increased chance to spawn. Good chest. Cool. Glad I went back. That was definitely worth it. And a card, dude. More hearts. More hearts is always good. Alright. Speed running. Speed running this part of the dungeon. Ooh, tentacles. Always tentacles. Alrighty. Ooh, Inductic, hello. Welcome, welcome. Do I have you in my little cult? Don't remember. Ooh, tentacles. Please die, little bomb dude. Alright, so much things. Ooh, another little flower bed decoration. I am all about that. I think so. I remember my house getting glowed up. Yes. Okay, so we do have you. I just wanted to make sure. Because at this point, like, so many people have died. And I'm trying to remember everything, but it's chaos. And also, I'm trying to, like, panic and quickly run back to town because, everyone's sick right now and I'm trapped in the dungeon. I need to get my, energy thing back up before I go. Ooh. That one shoots off in all directions and is really cool. I think I gotta go... Yeah, back this way for a second. No, that's the final boss. Okay. So I definitely needed to continue going up. So let's go back that way. Back up here. Then there should be something cool over here. Yeah, there we go. Reveal the map. Drop 2 times more power because this should be the end of the map. So there's no reason I need the map revealed. Doop doop. That's awesome. Crown on your head. Who made it? Like in the game? It's the little demon that you're trying to fight for. So much chaos, but I'm just gonna fucking full send. Yeah, so I should be able to just... You only have a couple more hits, and I still have 2 hearts. There we go. Oh, like in real life? Oh, that's actually a really convenient thing. So all of my headset attachments, my butterfly wings, my roses, my kitty cat ears, these little itty bitty guys in front of my kitty cat ears, and my little moon that I have going is made by Trinket Sources. Trinket Sources headset attachment. Sorceress, not Sorceress. I always get it mixed up. But Trinket Sorceress, headset attachments, code cookie, if you would like to save some money on any headset attachments you do order. Let me pull up this page here. Got it. I should probably just have this saved in a tab for you guys. Boom. Trinket Sorceress here. TikTok is able to see them. I will get you guys a link here, but you can use Code Cookie. They have close to 100 headset designs. She is a sweet bean human being. There's literally something for everyone. There's cowboy hats. There's my TikTok live can see everything right now. I'm gonna scroll through the shop a little bit, but they literally have like horns, little frogs. Actually, I suppose I could let me go to my, oh, that's the wrong not playing screen. Let me turn off Call to the Lamb for a second. Turn on my screen capture. She literally has everything. There's horns, there's little frogs. The dipped horns are ready to ship, so those ones are super special and they're only like one per person. Like literally all kinds of different horns. There's antennas, all kinds of antennas, just little charms, pumpkins, crowns. Those are the roses I got. Like, there's, like, 3 different kinds of butterfly wings. There's just, like, roses that sit flat on the side, pentagrams, unicorn horns, moons, like, literally, like, the little cowboy hats, witches' hats. Bunch of different horns, so many different horns. Just side ram horns, axolotls, little cow ears. Like, literally, when I say there is something for everyone, there is literally something for everyone on Trinket Source. I had such a hard time deciding between these 2 wings, too. Like, I want to get this set, but this one I felt like would be better for me to learn how to sit with them. There's little sprout mushrooms, angel wings, like, something for everyone. Literally everyone. Animal Crossing things, little side moons, cherry blossom attachments. As I said, Code Cookie for anything you use to save some money. I don't get paid to do this. I just love supporting a small business because she is absolutely kick butt and I love her. I think those are the kitty horns I have. So I have the cat ears. These were a special print that she did and sent to me. So I have the cat ears. I thought about getting the hearts at one point. I have these butterfly wings, the monarch wings. My itty bitty bits that I have. Where are they? Those are the roses I'm sitting with right now. My little bitty bits here are part of this dragon set. So if you order this one, you get the whole set, but she sent me just the itty bitty bits as a gift. And then my moon. Where were the moons at? My moons are the center ones right here. So that is my stack that I got going. What's the code? Code cookie for Trinket Sources headset attachments. I do gotta get that fixed now. Studio, back to my now playing. Yeah, but there's so many. Code cookie. She's a sweet bean and I love her so much. Why am I doing what? You're talking about the plug that I'm doing. It's because I love Trinket Sources. She's just a super sweet bean. Like, literally, it's a small business. It's not even, like, a big corporation or anything like that. She's super sweet, and I love just, like, spreading the word of what she works on. Because, like, she, like, 3D prints all these per order. So, like, they're not even mass-produced. Like, you put in your order, and, like, you get to pick, like, what color everything is. You get to, like, pick like what color straps you want, so she has white and black straps. It's just a good time all the way around. How do I get out of studio mode? Out of studio mode. Get those guys taken down. Get this closed again. And back to Call to the Lamb. Also, I'm wanting to get a headset, so when I do, those are cool. Yeah, no, they're really cool. Like, close to 100 designs. So, like, even Gavin's found something that he's kind of like, he hasn't wanted any because he doesn't do any kind of fancy anything. But he's even seen some that he liked and thought were cute. Good night, Cookie. Have a great day when you wake up, friend. Love your face. Love you, Ben. Have a good night. I say I will be ending myself before too long. Not ending myself, but ending things myself before. Oh, I could have collected those. Oh, hello, little dude. We will save you. What do I need? I need the wood. I'm gonna grab the blueprint though. Blueprint. Ooh, that's a cool one. We have most of everything unlocked for this now. But now it's time to go home. What way do I need to go? I need to go up to get out of here. And that's half of that one done. Cool, cool. Cool. So now I am definitely in wrap-up mode because it is now midnight, which means it's technically 1. Because if you don't know, it is daylight savings tonight, so you will spring forward an hour and will lose an hour's worth of sleep. Alright. Anyone who's sick. Yes, anyone who's sick needs to be on bed rest. Absolutely. I'm glad that they all did that on their own. Why are you not asleep? Variant. Bed rest, go. Is anyone not sick? You... we're gonna send you to the farm. Turtle Dude is back. Turtle Dude, you gotta let me clean up some stuff first because everyone is not okay. Chef is just old. Got a lot of things to clean. Could probably send someone on janitor duty. I don't know if there is anything else. Nintendo, we're gonna go clean things for now. Okay, all the seeds are set. The farms are being worked on. Got that going. I definitely need more. We need 3 of those going. Make some more of the stone too. I should probably build a stone thing. Like, I don't necessarily need it exactly, but it's always nice to have just in case I do start to run out of everything. Can we heal anyone? Everyone's on 15. We'll heal 1 at a time. Okay, so you're better. I should have enough to heal at least 1 more person. Go. Yeah, I only have 10 flowers left, so we'll have to start doing that. Welcome, dude. Leader, I was badly injured. No! Oh, goodbye, dude. We're just gonna casually murder you. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. It's fine. It's fine. We gotta have a ceremony and stuff anyways, so they will like me more in just a moment. People are building things. It's nighttime. Okay, nighttime gives me a chance to like catch up and think about my life for a second. Wait, was it poop? I mean, I had to clean up poop, yeah. It's just part of being... Oh, nope, not that. It's just part of being a cult leader. You gotta pick up people's poop and puke to keep them happy. That's fine, because farming is automized now, so, like, farming being automized is gonna be my best friend for the future. I think that's... Nope, there's 1 more spider over here. There's 2 more spiders over here. That's not what I need. God damn it. Yes, thank you. Alright, so they will need food. They're gonna need a little bit of health work. A lot of people are already almost better, which is good. We're gonna introduce this person in for death fodder. Hey, buddy. We're gonna set you just to worship, but we're also gonna go ahead and bless you real quick. want your house, not you. What? Later. A fasting ritual? I mean, I will happily make you guys fast for a minute. If that is what you want me to do, then I will allow it to happen. Ooh, the Twitch totem's almost full. That's kind of scary, but kind of cool all at the same time. Ooh, I do need the rest of my crops to be planted, though. Please just do... There we go. Just do what I need you to do for 2 seconds. Come on. There we go. That should be every crop that we physically need planted. We need another... We just need someone to work on that is all we need. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to our temple altar. Perform... How much do we have, though? Because I would rather revive someone. Like 3 bones away from reviving someone. I don't necessarily want to perform the fasting ritual yet, then. Because I would rather revive someone. Oh, yikes, is everyone else still sick? Yikes, everyone else is still sick or something. But then everything else is set, minus... That's like the last thing we have to unlock. Alrighty. Alright. So that was all we needed. I'm trying to think now of what I want to do. Collect the devotion. Send our other dude out. Death fodder. Oh, you have to level him up first? Homie. Can we inspire you again? Please be inspired and level up soon. We're gonna send you to worship. Just strictly go do that. Level up. So we can send you to go do things. Alright, people are building things. Everything is good. Our fasting thing can get done. Was he on the bones quest or was he on the food quest? Fuck, he was on the bones quest. God damn it. I want to revive someone. I need 3 more bones for that. Let me go run around town, because they got things they can do. I got things I can also do. We'll go to the Spore Grotto first, because I believe we have mushrooms ready to give to... what's his name? None of that seems too interesting. No? Alright, moving on. Back over here. Because I know you guys have things for me to do. I wonder how often I should be coming back here to gather these things. Is it like once a day or like once every like few days or so? I don't know, I feel like I'm missing out on some leveling up. Where was I supposed to go for the other thing? I don't actually know. Alright, well I can at least gather... Oh, okay, you were the thing. Oh, that's an axolotl. I can make you guys axolotls now. Let me collect the things. Thanks, guy. Now, if I could collect some of these cool fish. Oh, I forgot why I was avoiding this fishing game. It's not very fun. Hopefully something sees me all the way out here. No? Nothing? Oh, I can reel it in. I didn't know that. I really hate fishing games. Ooh, you can fish? Yee. I just, like to avoid fishing in games. Especially New World. New World's fishing did nothing but annoy me. Hey, big fishy. Well, you seem kinda angry. Oh, hey, is that one of the things we needed? It is one of the things we needed. I like the fact that I can fish up gold bars, though. That was very useful. Squid. I think the squid may have been one of the other ones, too. Can I give everything to him all at once? I hope so. I don't want to have to remember what fish I've caught. Do you like the one on Zelda, though? I have never played any Zelda games enough to know the fishing. I played a little bit of Ocarina of Time. I got to the point where you're running the second temples again, defeated the water temple the second time, was working on the rock temple, and then ended up giving up because I was playing that through with one of my ex-boyfriends and then just never finished the game because we were playing it together. And then just never finished it, so... Never actually played a Legend of Zelda game. Gavin has, though. Alright, dude. You want one of them? Little treasure? Ooh, okay. You're one of them dudes. And then if I give you the squid, will you also give me a little treasure? Yes, you do give me a little treasure. So I have one of those, which means we have something at the cult now. Okay, we can unlock new fleeces at the altar. That means we have 2 other fish to catch with him, but we also have more fish at home now, which we can turn into food. Has our one dude leveled up? Because I would love to send him on a quest. Chef died. Oh my god, Chef. That's not cool. Chef's gonna get added to the graveyard, and I still haven't, like, recovered anyone else yet. Hey, kitty. Oh no, are you really not gonna finish that grave that you, like, just started? Trash. There we go, we caught that spider. So I want to upgrade that other scarecrow so we can catch some things. Holy cow, spiders. They're giving us a lot of food tonight. That's probably at least 2 or 3 things worth of food. Definitely need to go gather some more of the wood. Is there a spider over here? No, there wasn't. God, I need so much wood, and like all of these just are not keeping up with it. I don't have the money for it. Shit. We need food, we need... Are there seeds in here? Oh, that's why they're not planting anything, because there's no seeds in here. Okay, so we'll go with that. I would rather almost make a grave cover. We need 1, 2, 3 of those. Oh, can I upgrade that house? I think I was waiting on some of the gold for the house upgrades. Ooh, yeah, I can upgrade a couple different houses. I don't necessarily want to use any of my gold. Hello. God, man, guy. So many people are getting old, and I don't have enough people to fix that yet. People are hungry, though. I definitely don't have enough for fasting. Can I send you on quest? Can I inspire you again? Oh, okay, so you are about to level up. You should be leveled up any second. Let me hold a sermon and then we should be good. Please. It's cool that Gavin plays them too. Yeah, no, like they seem like really pretty games. It's just out of all the ones that I'm super interested in, it's not at the top of my list. Like I would like to play one of the Legend of Zelda games at some point, but it's not the top. Ooh, purple cape. Oh, yikes. 100% of the items lost if killed. Four tarot cards at the start of the run. None can be drawn after. Damage dealt increase after each kill, but resets when hit. Ooh, take double damage. Curses deal double damage and cause half the fever, but melee weapon damage and health are half. Oh, God, I hate all of this. I kind of like the yellow one a little bit. What about Paper Mario? I played one of the Paper Marios back on the Wii. That was years ago. You know, oh, wait, I can do that now? Guess I'll go ahead and do it. I don't want to per se, but it works. Somebody wanted me to, don't boo me, someone wanted to. So then I can also need 2 more to ascend someone. Alrighty. Well, you guys have a good day. That really did no negative to me. Thanks, buddy. Can I send you on a mission now that you've leveled up? Please, 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 please. Oh, hey, what's up? Are you back? Please tell me you survived. Thank God. Now you go sleep. I'm gonna send this guy out on... I'm gonna send him on a seed mission. I'm gonna send you on a bone mission after you're not tired anymore. Variant. I see you glowing over there. You mean the one with the box ring bad guys, the first level? I have no idea. It has been years since I have played that game. I don't even own it anymore. No, like when I was younger, we ended up losing my Wii when we went through bankruptcy once. And I didn't get one back until like after I had like an Xbox, so which I still have. No, we ended up selling. I got another Wii back. We ended up selling that one so I could get an Xbox instead. And then when I moved out, I bought a Wii so me and Gavin could have one. Actually, what's that one sermon that gives me money from everyone? Because that would be... that would be nice. Oh, it costs 65 though. Jesus Christ. I don't have enough for that. I would rather revive someone. You. I said to go sleep. Can I not? Can I assign that to him? Like, can I give you a better sleep while you're here? There you go. That should make him revive faster. Oh, we still gotta get the good gravestone for that person so people can grieve properly. There we go, upgrade that, and then can I upgrade another house? No, I still need the 2 gold, which I can sell to my dude. Sell a fish, sell a fish, a fish. Sell one of them. Yes, that's where we're getting our money from. What sold for a lot? The camellia sold for a decent bit. Oh, that didn't even sell for as much as I wanted it to anymore. God damn it. Anyways. So now I can probably make a couple of those bars and get a house or 2 done. It's 2 per thing, so if I do that, that should be relatively enough for a few more, like, good houses. Hopefully oh shit, okay. I need to make some more wood things. Another one of those there. Then I'll start lining a couple more up, because why not? 2 things being built, people should be gathering. I can perform a relatively decent little sermon for them. Oh, I've already inspired you. Let me inspire someone else. No, that's not what I wanted. Inspire. There we go. I don't want you to eat. I wanted you to inspire. There we go. Oh, I definitely need more seeds going. Only have 23 monies. Everyone's pretty inspired over here. Got that going? I have the fuel going on all of those. There's no way I shouldn't be able to send you out now. We're gonna send you on another mission. We're gonna... Please survive. I would like someone to survive a bones mission for me. I know I'm asking a lot, but... You know? I sit here and look at it. We have some people getting old, which is slightly problematic, but... After these resources are done... I want to wait till those are done, but I think after that happens, we are good to end out for the night. You know, I have, in my old school game collection, recruit starving followers. Fuck yeah, I will accept 2 new people into the cult. Alright, so it looks like if anyone would like to join our cult, I do have 2 openings coming. Oh, wait. Nintendo Switch has already had a person, though. Alright, well, I guess there's 2 of you? Wait, do we not already have a Nintendo Switch? There are 2 Nintendo Switches. Someone's an imposter. Alright, well, I guess we have 1 open spot. If anyone would like to join and is on PC. there should be something popping up. But Nintendo Switch, there's now 2 of you. So that's interesting. I didn't know the game could do that. Hell, Ben's been gone forever. I want Ben back. But we do have it on the spot for anyone who hasn't joined yet. I'll turn my phone back on. It died via TikTok. I also have a lot of people that have raided out. I am not ready because it's about to be a very quick 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm not gonna be ready for that at all. Wait, that's trippy. It's still me? Yeah, like literally same little character and everything. It's still you. Like it's kind of weird. So I'll leave this up until 12:30 if anyone would like to join. You don't have to do anything once your little character's in-game. I just gotta take care of ya. But as for that, let me find who we're raiding on out to tonight, because after this, I'm just gonna be done for the night. So it's like a nice little area to end off. If not, I'll just make this some random person. You know? Let's raid Peachy tonight. I haven't raided Peachy in a minute. She is a sweet bean and I love her. She's doing Fortnite tonight. God, Peachy's just a sweet bean. You will love Peachy if you don't already know who she is. She is just absolutely amazing. So that's who we'll be raiding on out tonight once we do end up raiding. What am I doing? Where? No, I'm looking for OBS, not anything else that I've clicked. There we go. Well, I'm already in. Can I click cancel? Won't lose my OG Froggy. No, your OG Froggy's still there, which is weird. It is 12:30. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that on out and just mix someone for ourselves. I want to make an axolotl actually. We just got that little axolotl dude. We'll make him blue because I think that's cute. Little stripey dude. He gains 10 faith and is easier to level up. Uh-oh. I do gotta make food for you guys. Let me make you something I have a lot of. There we go. Go eat your food, little dude. You can eat, though. Literally, the other dude's eating. Go eat. Y'all can't be starving. We can't immediately poop everywhere, either. That's just not right. No pooping everywhere. Oh, you just gave me a bunch of things. Well, welcome to the cult, little dude. Don't know why you're not blue anymore. I guess it's a white axolotl. Do I have any more seeds for them? Oh, I do have a couple. Okay. Alrighty, so we got wood shops going. We got actually a bunch of little wood shops going, so we should have everything we need. We have some more stuff to upgrade some houses. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade those houses and then probably be on our merry way for the day. Almost the end of the day. Gonna hold a sermon in the morning after catching some spiders for everyone at night. Oh, Fearless. I forgot that you sent us on that mission. I knew you could do it. You truly are divine. Well, thank you, Fearless. I try my best. Also, we have the stuff to upgrade another house. I don't have enough poop. How do I not have enough poop? That's a rare sight. Not enough poop. Okay, so we got another spider for food. Hello, spiders. Where are we? That's all we need. No? Is there only gonna be one that spawns? There's no way. Wow, there's really not gonna be anything that spawns tonight. Mildly deterring. Wonder if I can perform... No, because... How long until what's-his-name's back? They only have like 1 day left? There's no reason they shouldn't be back in time. I need you guys... Oh, wait, they're not gonna poop for like 2 more days, though. Can I, like, take some of this poop? No? God, as weird as it sounds, I need my followers to poop for once. I can't upgrade that house. I won't lose my OG Froggy? No, 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 no. Because... You're neighbors with yourself. You got 2 Nintendo Switches right there. 2 Froggies. We got twins. Good morning, everybody. Let me casually come down here and inspire everyone. Heck yeah, look at them. All inspired and shit. See, everyone's happy. Collect all the devotion from the homes. God, that's gonna make upgrading and everything so much quicker too. Mangun, you're already old again. No, that's not what we wanted. There, that's who I wanted. Cool. You're doing farm things over there. Got new people working on new things. These guys should be back within a day or so, which is cool. Go ahead and hold my sermon before I just forget about it. Because I don't have bones for anything else. I love that most of my followers are like purple or blue. Love me. Alrighty. Oh, you guys get to determine something. This will be the end of the stream is what you guys get to decide. So they probably shouldn't be waiting in a thing. What will happen? Hopefully someone comes back from the dead. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna come down here. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it might. Brian's back! Welcome back, Brian! Dude! Riot's a survivor. Thank you, whoever did that. Heck yeah. I'm glad it wasn't the random. I'm glad it wasn't Sparkles. That's one less person we have to revive when we come back next round. Okay, think I'm gonna wait on anything else. Pause it now. And we will save and end. I think it did. Heck yeah. If you voted to bring someone back from the dead, then you are amazing. So, as I was saying earlier, we are raiding on out to Peachy Cat tonight. I just wanted to get to a good little wrap-up part for everyone. And I think that's it. We will be live tomorrow. I think I'm probably going to do some Stardew Valley tomorrow because I need to keep up on that 100%. We need to get it done. We just need to grind out some money, grind out some monster killers, and find wherever that last golden walnut is. But that one's going to be slightly annoying, but we'll get it. We'll get it. the only real announcement I have is make sure you're checking out the socials between the streams. I have to get ready for our Blitzo cosplay stream. I'm actually really nervous for the Blitzo stream because it's a lot of face paint that I... Oh, that's what I was gonna order. Fuck. I was gonna order face paint. God, that's probably not gonna be free shipping. Sorry, I forgot I needed to order face paint for Blitzo. Yikes. I need it though. Oh, I hate that. Anyways, we gotta get ready for our Blitzo cosplay at some point, but make sure you're checking out the socials. I have some more Marceline coming. I have just other content coming all the way around on my other social media, so make sure you're checking out things. But we are rated on Out to Peachy Cat. We will be live tomorrow. So if you would like some more of me for the end of this week here. Hello? Can I have you copy her name so I can make sure I'm reading out to the right person? Thank you. But we will see you guys tomorrow if you'd like to hang around tomorrow. If not, we're live Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays here on Twitch. So we will see you around after these credits. As soon as I remember how to go to credits, LOL, we will be rated on Out. So just some little love for my supporters that's come around. Thank you for the mods who help keep everyone safe. Oh, wait, the one sub that we had didn't go through. We had someone sub. Kitty Cat did a sub today. Thank you for that. That's not going to roll in the credits because we had to restart stream earlier. We had a new follower friend come in too. Lady Like a Cat, thank you for the follow today. And we're raiding out after you guys get these on copy paste. I'm a bad streamer who didn't even have my raid message ready. Oh, yikes. Okay, get your raid message on copy paste because we got about 10 seconds to do that because we're going in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thanks, love you, bye.